I think we should have a best-looking coach of the year.
I do too. We should have a bracket.
Yes.
Right now, you mean your coaches?
Hot.
Hot. Very hot. Well, we've wrapped up another week of Champions League play and of league play, and we're going to break that all down as we head into the international break. I'm Michele, and this is My Mom Calls It Soccer, and for the record, I am a Liverpool fan.
I'm Chase, I call it football. I'm a Barca fan.
And with us we have...
Grandma, and I am a Real Madrid fan.
I want to revisit real quick. I hope we have some new fans out there watching. And the goal of our podcast is really to help educate new fans to the game. So if you are someone who loves soccer / football, but you have a girlfriend or a spouse or a child or a parent who just doesn't quite get it, we are the podcast for them. So we're not out here trying to compete with the professional podcasts of people who played or coached the game and know everything. We are two people who are trying to learn from Chase, who is a huge fan and follows the sport. And so Grandma and I have recently become fans, but we're learning as we go. And we like to think of ourselves as the people who will ask the dumb questions, so you don't have to. We're going to start off today probably talking about our teams, but maybe not, with something we like to do, which is talk about one thing we loved from this week and one thing we hated. Chase, you want to go first?
One thing I loved is that Lewa got a hat trick today.
And so tell
Celta
everybody,
Vigo.
who is Lewa?
Lewa. He's a Polish striker that plays for Barca. He's 37 years old.
Shouldn't it be Lewa? Don't they call him Lewin?
I don't know.
Lewandowski?
I'm not Polish. So
Lewandowski?
I don't know.
Okay. Anyway, sorry.
But-
Lewa is a nickname that people use for him. Okay.
But one thing that I hated was that in the week we drew to Club Brugge.
And
So,
that was in the Champions League.
yeah.
So you won today in La Liga, your match, and that's where Robert Lewandowski had
A hat trick. Yep.
But you lost during the week.
No. Tied.
Oh, you tied. Sorry. You drew in the week
Yeah.
against Club Brugge. Was it 1-1?
3-3.
3-3. I actually watched that game, but
Yeah.
I'm old and I have a hard time retaining. Okay, so, and we'll talk again for people who are new. We help you differentiate between Champions League and between league play. So, okay, that makes sense. We'll circle back to discussing the difference in a little bit. Grandma, one thing you loved and one thing you hated.
I hated the fact that not only did we draw 0-0 today, but we haven't scored in 2 games now straight. And the thing that I loved was that I actually remember that Eusebio Ferreira is who won the first Golden Boot for the 66-67 season, and it was presented in 1968.
Okay, so last week on our episode, Grandma was talking about the fact that Mbappe had won the Golden Boot for last season, and she knew when the Golden Boot first started. I have so much. Last week I said Golden Boot. This week I said Golden Boot. Sorry, the Golden Boot, but she couldn't remember who received it. So you came back with some knowledge.
He's Portuguese.
Yes, he is Portuguese.
And what club was he playing for?
Benfica, I believe.
Yes,
Yeah.
Benfica.
Okay. Okay.
And he was at that time he was one of the best players in
And
the
Benfica
world.
is a Portuguese
Yes.
club,
Yes.
correct?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
look at me, spitting knowledge. Okay, so one thing that I loved this week was that we beat Real Madrid in Champions League play.
Yes, you did.
1-0, which was a great win for us because we have been struggling. And so then we got back on the struggle bus today and we got manhandled by Man City.
Yes.
And I hated that. But it was really good. We did not deserve to win. We looked like we were on our heels the whole time. Man City looked so much more aggressive than we did. So I hated that we lost, but we got what we deserved.
I have one other hate.
Oh, yeah.
I hate that Virgil van Dijk caused that one goal to score for Man City.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And then his heel out and it just veered right in.
Yeah. And then Virgil also had a goal that was taken away.
Yes.
That controversial.
I don't
Did
think
you get
that's
a chance to look at that?
I saw. I don't think that's obstructing. He doesn't take Donnaruma's vision away from
Well,
it.
that's what.
He's not blocking him either. He
Yes.
ducks.
The
so.
announcers said
Yes.
that it wasn't called right.
At the end, you think, well, maybe it didn't make a difference, but at that point, it would have brought him even. And so, it was disappointing. But they also, in my opinion, didn't play well enough to win,
deserve a
to
goal.
deserve a goal.
Yeah.
So they just, because Man City could have won 5-0, 6-0. Yeah. I mean, they had a lot of chances that just didn't go in for them. So I would also like to revisit the fact that Erling Haaland still does not have a decent celebration dance. So I don't know if you saw him today. And I like him. I mean, I don't want him to score because we're playing against him. But I like
he scores
him.
every game just
Yeah,
about.
he's an amazing player. And so
is.
this week with his celebration, he went over and he kicked the corner flag like a hey-ya. And
Players do that.
But I don't know. He's just such a big dude that it just doesn't. I don't know. I think he needs to befriend a couple of wide receivers in the NFL who could kind of help him, like plan out. It also seems, this is the other thing. I may be wrong, but he is going to score almost every game.
Yes.
He seems unprepared for the fact that he's going to score, that he needs a good celebration dance.
Well, not everyone has a celebration.
Well, but I mean, something,
Yeah.
It seems like he's in the spur of the moment. He's like, I got to think of something. And I'm just thinking, you score every game.
Well, he's off that buzz of scoring the goal.
Yeah. So anyway, he's an amazing player. He can do whatever he wants.
He chases that goal. So when he gets it, he's very happy.
Yeah.
So
he was happy and he hi-ya kicked the corner flag.
I mean, players do that though.
They
A lot
do?
of they kick the flagpole.
They kicked the flag?
Yeah.
Okay.
They do.
So anyway, he had a great game. So as we try to attract new fans to the game, I think that one of the things that is helpful to put out for people are players that they could look back at from this week and check out clips of that did something impressive or fantastic or fun to watch as you try to get people to connect with someone in the game. So who was or were some players from this week that you think people ought to go back out and check and look at the clips of what they did this week?
I have two based off of this performance from today, Jeremy Doku.
Yes.
And Lamine Yamal, especially that goal he scored against Club Brugge.
Okay.
I think they're very two exciting players.
So tell us, Jeremy Doku, tell everybody who he is.
He's a left winger. He is Belgian, and he plays for Man City. Very electric, great dribbler.
Yes.
He's been called inconsistent the past 2 seasons, but he's been amazing this season, especially the game against Liverpool.
Yeah, he set the pace today. I felt like from the beginning, he was really pressing and we were having difficulty defending him. I thought Connor Bradley got better, but you could tell he was wearing us down defensively and he was just very aggressive and ended up getting their third goal. So that was the first time I've ever really noticed him or watched him play, but I was really impressed. And so then tell us about the Lamine Yamal. If people go out and search for that, they should look for Lamine Yamal goal versus Club Brugge.
If we're talking about this season, if we're talking about just in general, I'd say go and look at his goal against Inter Milan.
Okay.
It was a great goal. He created it out of nothing. Didn't even need to pass to anyone. He did it all by himself.
But this week in your UCL game, he
yeah.
had a goal against Club Brugge that you
Yes.
thought was impressive.
Yeah.
Okay. So, again, a couple of players to go out and check out and take a look at what they did this week, again, as you're trying to learn more and more about the game. At this point, let's talk about how our matchup participant teams did. Grandma, did you watch the Arsenal game?
I did.
Okay, you want to tell us what your thoughts were on that? We have 2 people, Josh and Rita, who picked Arsenal as their team. Tell us how that game was.
Yeah, I thought it was an exciting game. It was fun to watch, and I was amazed that it was a draw 2-2.
Yes. Saturday was like draw day.
It was.
I would have taken a draw today in Liverpool versus Man City, but it seemed like almost everyone had a draw on Saturday. Chase, what about Arsenal in Champions League?
In the Champions League, like their game?
Yes.
They beat Slavia Prague 3-0.
Okay, 3-0.
Yeah.
So they're still at the top of the table in the Premier
Yes.
League.
4 points ahead. Yeah.
Yes. So that draw allowed Man City to get a little bit closer with the win against us. But
I just feel like Arsenal are too consistent. I think Sunderland haven't lost a game at home yet, so I don't think it's too bad to draw, especially with their position in like injuries
Yes.
and stuff like that. Sunderland were very physical
Yes,
in
they
that
were.
game, and you had kids on the bench. You don't want to bring them on for that. They're going to get bullied off the ball and stuff like that.
So that was interesting, and they just look very consistent and very good and very strong.
Yeah.
And we did, on one of our shorts that we shared this week on social media, I had somebody message me a little bit upset that we don't talk about Arsenal enough. And so I told them to come check out the full length podcast, but they are dominating so far this year. So we'll see where it goes, but right now they look impressive. Did anybody watch any of the Dortmund games?
No, but I know it ended 1-1, and the equalizer from, I think their name's
Okay.
Hamsburg, something like that. They got the equalizer in the last kick of the game.
Oh, they did.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So Dortmund was ahead.
Yep.
And then they got the equalizer. And their UCL game?
Well, they lost 4-1 against Man City, so
Oh, that's right. That's right. So
not much to take away for Dortmund. So.
No, and I feel your pain, Dortmund. That's almost what Man City did to us today.
Well, I would know the pain. I've lost 4-1 this season. So.
You have, yes. So I am learning it is quite a roller coaster ride because you do have league games and then you have cups going on and then Champions League and you can do well in
And
one.
you have your international games
terrible in another
also
one, yes. And
going
we're getting
on,
ready to
so-
go into an international break. So,
Right.
okay, Bayern won their Champions League game. But then had their first draw of the season. So, did you see any of that game or any highlights from that game?
From the PSG game?
No, from
The
yes.
Union Berlin? Well,
Yes.
I saw that Luis Diaz goal.
Yes.
It was really, really good.
Yeah.
So it was a really bad through ball played. I forgot who the player was. Luis Diaz, he slides to keep the ball in bounds and then just takes like a little touch to get past the defender before he can make a challenge. And then right at like the near post of the keeper, he just shoots it in at the top corner of the right side. It was a spectacular goal.
Yes.
The goal probability of that was 6%.
It was crazy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. Well, talk about their
But then
game
later
against.
on, he missed a one-on-one.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. It's sometimes those easy ones.
The duality,
Are
yeah.
too. Yes, exactly. The duality of football
Yeah.
/ soccer. Their game against PSG was really good, though. So
Luis Diaz scoring again.
Yes. Yeah. So they're still doing great. That's Brad's team. It's
The
been a
draw
really
won't
good.
matter. They're still going to win the league. So
Yes. Yeah. Yes,
not
they're
an
way
issue.
ahead. Yes.
because even their competitors also drew. So.
Yeah. So they're way ahead in their league and still just really good. Aston Villa, I believe Aston Villa won their Europa League game, and then they won their EPL game.
Oh,
I believe. Yes, they beat Bournemouth.
Bournemouth.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a hard game.
Yeah. So they've been playing a lot better, and I think that in the table,
They're
on
in
the table,
up half,
yes,
top half.
yeah. So Man United, who we don't have anyone matched up with, but who Nick and Emily, who are contributors to this podcast, follow. Man United has been playing better,
Yeah.
and is actually ahead of Liverpool in the table right now,
Yeah.
which hurts my heart a lot. But yes, it is the first time as somebody new to the game of really paying attention and watching the movement in the table. At this time last year, I was watching games, but I was not as invested as I am now. So it is interesting to see how it can move and how much swing there is, and every game matters.
Yeah.
So, all right, that's how all of our matchup participant teams have done. we will keep watching them, and we'll be checking in with our matchup participants too to see how things are going for them. We have a new segment called the Starter Series, where we are going to highlight a different area each week that's really geared toward new fans and ways for you to jump into the game and get involved quickly and start knowing more about it and what you're talking about. And so today we are going to talk about how you can pick a team to follow and fall in love with, but not be considered a bandwagon fan. Chase, do you have any tips on how to not bandwagon when you're choosing a team?
Just pick a team that you enjoy to watch.
Okay.
What style of football you like, what players you like, what kind of tactics you like.
And so kind of what your vibe is.
Yeah.
And so when we matched up our matchup participants, we gave them a quiz. And so we will make that quiz available down in the comment section or below. And you can take that quiz and send it in to us if you want to. And we will use that to pair you with the team. We're also starting to do some speed matchups with people and the same kind of thing. We're measuring things like, you know, do you like a chaotic environment or a more controlled? You know, do you like a historic established team or do you like a team that feels newer and things like that? Grandma, when you were picking Real Madrid, what were some of the things that made you want to choose them? Because, I mean, honestly, we could call you a bandwagon fan because Real Madrid has won more European championships, right, than any other
else.
team.
Yeah.
So
But if you will recall, I didn't pick the team first.
Yes.
I picked a player, which was Trent Alexander-Arnold, who is
yet
not
to play for Real Madrid. He is
Yeah, I mean, he played
sitting
10
on the
minutes
bench.
today and
Okay.
10 minutes in the Champions League.
So he did
But
get in today.
He did get in today,
Okay.
but the last 10 minutes, right.
Okay.
But anyway, I picked him. He was still playing for Liverpool. So I followed him then when
Real
he
Madrid.
went to Real Madrid.
And when you did that, we got a little bit of criticism from a couple of people who were like, you can't choose a team based on a player because they move around. And my point was, when you're dealing with new fans, you got to get involved somehow. You pick a team based on something. And then if it is a match, you will stay with that team and love them. But you got to have some kind of an in to get in. And I think that's one thing in all sports. As a NFL football fan, when new people come into the sport, I think sometimes existing fans, we're a little standoffish or we have a little bit of an attitude about why someone's picking a team. For example, there are a lot of women who are now Kansas City Chiefs fans because of Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce.
Right.
And I have been a Kansas City Chiefs fan for as long as I can remember. I lived through all of the horrible times, but I welcome all those people. Why wouldn't I want more
Wouldn't
fans?
you want more fans?
So
Right.
whatever it is that gets you into the game, whether it is falling in love with the jersey color or the style of play or whatever it is.
Or a cute coach.
A cute coach. There are some handsome coaches in European soccer. Let's call it like it is, right? And Real Madrid's coach is hot. This is Chase's least
Let's go
favorite
on with
subject.
football.
Okay.
So
So, but there's a lot of reasons to choose a team.
Yeah.
Why did you end up being a Barcelona fan?
I mean, it kind of comes from my childhood. Obviously, I wore a Messi backpack to preschool
Yes.
a lot, and that might
And
have
a
been
jersey. You
and a
had an
jersey.
Argentina jersey and a Barcelona jersey,
Yeah.
and then the Barcelona backpack that were all messy.
So I
Yeah.
always knew of Barca,
Yeah.
and then when I started getting back into it again, I found Barcelona again. I liked their style of play, and I got into it.
Yep.
So
And for me, with Liverpool, you were trying to get me into the game. We took a just let's do it trip to England, and we went and watched Tottenham play West Ham, and we watched Liverpool play Chelsea, and we were at Anfield. And again, two very different stadiums. I had the honor of going to both. Spurs Stadium is state of the art and beautiful and new and right in London, and Anfield is in Liverpool, historic, been there forever, pubs right around it. And so for me and the things that appeal to me, Anfield was a better fit. And that's where I fell in love with Liverpool. I didn't understand when we went last year how good they were. And I didn't know that there was a chance they'd win the Premier League. And they ended up doing that. And so I could be considered a bandwagon fan. But the reason really that I chose it was more of I really connected with the history and the feeling. We toured the stadium and all of that just really hooked me. So that's what it was for me. We are here to help as people are trying to find a team, or if you are trying to connect with a team that your significant other or your child or your best friend is already a fan of. We want to be that support to help you learn about the game and know the things that you ought to talk about, and so you can have good conversations. So if that's the case and you found us, continue to follow us. We're going to continue to give you tips and tricks on how to become a fan and really learn to love the game. All right. Anything else that you guys want to talk about this week?
Man City's closer to Arsenal, and so is Barca closer to Madrid.
Yes.
So
both
that's big.
Pulled ahead, yes. Liverpool is not. We have dropped down. I think we're in 9th on the table.
You're in 8th.
8th. Okay. So.
But it's not that big of a deal. There's not much of a difference between 3rd to 11th.
Yes.
You guys, I think that's like, it's all the way until like maybe 3rd or 2nd. All of you guys have like 18 points.
18 points.
So it's not a big deal.
Yes. But something that I'm learning as we go along of kind of paying attention to that I really didn't understand last year. So
one thing we didn't cover was in Real Madrid's loss today. Well, not loss, draw. Draw.
But it'd be considered a loss.
0-0, right. It was against Rayo Vallecano. And I just want to point out how I've come along that I can now pronounce that.
You have. Grandma's Spanish is improving as she is becoming a true La Liga follower and Real Madrid fan. We have an international break, so there won't be any games this coming week or weekend. Are there any games coming up in the international break? I can talk about the fact Guatemala is still in the running.
We're still hanging on. All right.
And I believe they play on the 14th. Okay. Maybe the 14th and 15th or 14th and 16th. So they are still alive and in the running to make the World Cup, and we really hope that they do. So we'll be watching and cheering for them. Anyone else in international break?
This is going to be like the end kind of World Cup qualifiers. Then you have like AFCON in December.
Okay.
Which is Africa.
Okay.
I think that's the AFCON tournament.
Okay.
So. But it's really nothing much to
just
talk about.
Everyone getting ready for World Cup.
Yeah.
And then the big news that I have is that I applied to be a volunteer for FIFA with the World Cup, and I got an interview. So I don't know what that entails, but we're definitely going to film while we're there. So I go on the 25th of November and get to try out to be a volunteer, and it's in Kansas City, and I don't know what to expect, but we'll report on whatever happens, and looking forward to it, hoping that maybe I can get it.
Yeah.
All right, that's all we have for this week. Again, it will be international break this coming week, so we probably won't have another episode until we get back to league play and more Champions League.
Yep.
But until then, follow us on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcast, TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. We'll see you later.